Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Can you all hear me?
Yes, clearly, Dr. Zaid.
Good.
Assalamualaikum and good morning, everyone. So I have streamed this in YouTube. So if you turn on your YouTube, you can see that this session is actually live and lag around 15 seconds, 10 to 15 seconds.
What channel? What channel, sorry? What channel?
Oh, YouTube. So it's the conference channel. If you go to the, sorry, I have to admit people. If you go to the link, the chat room, you can go to the link straight away. I'll put speaker's view in YouTube, so only the speaker's face will be available there.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullah.
Waalaikumsalam. Assalamualaikum Dr. Kazi.
Alhamdulillah. How are you?
Dr. Uswa, how to set blur image background?
So you go to your
Filter.
stop video, there's an arrow to go up. So press that arrow just on top of your stop video and then choose virtual background and choose blur.
Blur? I think I don't have the setting.
Oh, you can actually download the settings there.
Maybe my version.
In the start video option, there is an option choose virtual background. Did you get it, Dr. Atif? Oh, Dr. Shafi is in playing mode. Oh, yes, she has changed.
I'm trying to find I'm trying to find the blurred background.
Okay.
I also cannot find.
It's in the start video option. There is a Notion arrow. If you click on it, you can find a choose virtual background option.
I think we have to put, but there's no blurred background, is it?
Yes, on the start video at the left hand side, down at the left hand side.
Yeah, but then there is no blur selection, so we don't have the blur selection. I think maybe because of the version, maybe.
Because your text has a blurred one. Yeah.
Yes, virtual background. Virtual background. On the right hand side of the virtual background, there is a plus sign. If you want to add any picture, please click on there.
Right, we'll start in 10 minutes time. The lag is not that bad. It's only 4 seconds, 3 to 4 seconds. Okay, when we start, I'll mute everyone, and Dr. Zaid can unmute yourself and start being the MC. And whenever someone is not speaking, please mute yourself. And when you want to say something, you can unmute. Okay, thank you.
How many viewers do we have on YouTube?
Around, it was 9 just now, but now 8.
Do we have all the speakers on standby? So first up are the welcoming notes. Dr. Atif is here. Dr. V.A. Narayan, which one is he? I don't seem to see him in the Zoom. And thirdly is Professor Dr. Jahangir Alam from USTC. Dr. Kazi, can you help us? And apart from that, the keynote speakers. So the first of all is Dr. Jahangir Dewan. I don't see him either. Keynote number 2 is Professor Lokeswara. So I see Professor Lokeswara. He's here. Okay, that's good. And keynote number 3 is Dr. Shafiz. So Dr. Shafiz is here. And we'll have Dr. Uswah to do the briefing for the afternoon parallel session and just wrap up the session. Okay. So yeah, where is Dr. V.A. Narayan, Professor Jahangir Alam, and Dr. Jahangir Dewan? We're about to start in 3 minutes. And it's slightly concerning that these people are not here yet. If they're not here by the time, then I would have no choice but to proceed with whoever we have. So we have at least Dr. Atif for the opening ceremony, for the opening speech. And for the keynote speakers, we have Professor Lokeswara and Dr. Shafi. So we'll just proceed with that. So that's the plan, okay, the contingency.
Professor Dr. Jahangir Alam is joining very soon.
Okay. So we only need Professor Jahangir Dewan, is that correct? And Dr. V.A. Narayan.
Good morning, all of you.
Good morning, Professor. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm okay. So I'll be here.
Thank you for joining us, Professor.
Okay, thank you.
Dr. Uswah, shall we start?
All right, let's start in 2 minutes time and then we start. Just gathering the participants. I think some people are joining in the YouTube.
Okay. We seem to have most of the speakers here except for Dr. Jahangir Dewan. Is he here? Can Dr. Jahangir Dewan please give a response? Doesn't seem like it. If he's not here by the time his turn to speak, I will have to proceed with the next speaker. Okay. So for the speakers, thank you all for joining us and for agreeing to speak at this auspicious conference. So my name is Dr. Zaid. I'll be the MC. Just a little background briefing, behind the scenes briefing before we start. So we're going to start with three opening or welcoming speeches. First by Dr. Atif from Malaysia. Second by Major Dr. V.A. Narayan from CMR CET. And thirdly by Professor Dr. Jahangir Alam from USTC Bangladesh. And then we'll probably have a short break to allow for some video presentations. And then we'll resume with a keynote speech by Dr. Jahangir Dewan, who we are still waiting for. The next keynote speech will be by Professor Lokeswara, so he's here. And thirdly by Dr. Shafi. So, and then that is, we'll wrap up with a briefing by Dr. Uswa on the afternoon session. And hopefully we can finish and wrap up all this in around 2 hours time. Okay.
Okay, great. We can start now, inshallah.
So Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2021 International Conference on Computational Intelligence in Machine Learning, ICCIML 2021. My name is Dr. Zaid Omar. I'm from University Technology Malaysia, and I will be your Master of Ceremonies this morning. I must say it feels fantastic to be here after months and months of planning and execution and hard work, and finally being able to meet all of you. For your information, this inaugural conference is jointly hosted by the Center of Artificial Intelligence and Robotics, or CAIRO, in UTM, the University of Science and Technology, Chittagong, USTC, Bangladesh, Don Bosco Institute of Technology, Bangalore, India, and CMR College of Engineering and Technology, Hyderabad, India. ICCIML 2021 aims to serve as a platform to collaborate and showcase high-end research and industry initiatives in the area of computational intelligence and machine learning. This conference is aimed at witnessing knowledge sharing and showcasing of computational intelligence and machine learning software products by corporate, scientists, and practitioners from academia, industry, and government organizations. The conference is hoped to be a huge success with over 50 presenters and participants internationally. The event gathers researchers, industry engineers, and academicians from Malaysia, Bangladesh, India, and other countries to discuss the latest trends and state of the art in the areas of artificial intelligence and machine learning. We have over 50 registered papers and presenters raring to share their research findings with the rest of the conference participants. And we have 3 amazing and enlightening keynote sessions by 3 esteemed members of the worldwide research community, which we will get to listen to later in this morning's session. But first, I want to take a moment to recognize and thank all members of the organizing committee who have worked so hard to make this conference and this event a reality. From the general chair to the technical, finance, logistics, and more, may you all be rewarded in abundance for your contributions. With this, it is my pleasure to invite 3 distinguished members of the organizing committee, each representing the organizing countries of Malaysia, India, and Bangladesh, respectively, to each give short opening remarks and welcome all participants to the conference. First is Associate Professor, Engineer Dr. Ahmad Atif Muhammad Fauzi, who is the ICCIML Conference General Secretary. Ahmad Atif is the Director of the Center of Artificial Intelligence and Robotics, or CAIRO, from UTM. He is mainly engaged in the research fields of actuators in field robotics, bio-inspired robotics, and biomedical applications. He is a professional engineer, a chartered engineer, a member of the IEEE Robotics and Automation Society, and a committee member of Perintis. He is a member of the Academy of Sciences Malaysia, Young Scientist Network, YSN, and is currently involved in a YSM ESM Science Outreach Working Group. So please welcome Dr. Atif. Is Dr. Atif here?
Dr. Atif have a line problem. Can we invite other people first?
I see. Okay, we'll get to Dr. Atif. We'll return to Dr. Atif in a minute. But first, we can proceed to our next opening speech, welcoming speech. Next is Major Dr. V.A. Narayan, who is a professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at CMR College of Engineering and Technology. He is involved in teaching and research in the areas of data mining, web mining, and database management systems. At CMR College of Engineering and Technology, Hyderabad, he has held many administrative positions, including head of the CSE department, course director and head of the first year, and dean of academics. And in 2016, Dr. V.A. Narayan was appointed the principal of CMR CET and has been in the position until today. So let us all please welcome Dr. Narayan.
Good morning, all ladies and gentlemen and the dignitaries. I hope I'm audible, Dr. Shahid Ahmad. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Distinguished guests, participants, ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to you all. Good morning to you all. And it's my pleasure to welcome all the participants for the two-day international conference on computational intelligence in machine learning, what we call it as ICCIML 2021. ICCIML 2021 is being jointly organized by Center for Artificial Intelligence and Robotics, University of Technology, Malaysia, University of Science and Technology, Chittagong, University of Science and Technology, Chittagong, Bangladesh, and also Don Bosco Institute of Technology from India, and our CMR College of Engineering and Technology. I just wanted to, am I audible, please? Yeah, sorry. Our CMR College of Engineering and Technology was established in the year 2002 by MGR Educational Society. It's headed by Sri C.H. Mallareddy. He is Minister in Telangana government of India, and also with a vision and mission of imparting quality technical education to the deserving and meritorious students from the socially and economically weaker sections in Telangana. So presently, our college is offering 8 UG programs and 5 PG programs. And our college is also permanently affiliated to Jawaharlal Nehru Technological University, Hyderabad, and is approved by AICTE New Delhi. And we are UGC autonomous status. We have received since 2014-15 onwards. And we are also very proud to inform that our college is accredited by NAC with A+ grade. And we also have a Atal ranking in innovations of a 5th rank in All India Atal Rankings 2020, which is a ranking being done by the central government of India. And also we have a National Institute Ranking Framework rank all over India, which is again done by the central government of India, a rank band of between 251 to 300. So we can say that we are in the top 300 in the top colleges of India. And we have 5 UG programs actually, which are being accredited by National Board of Accreditation under the Washington Accord. This MBA is also part of the Washington Accord. So our also we have various other gradings of AAA plus and 5th rank in the top engineering colleges in the state of Telangana, and also 8th among the top engineering colleges in Telangana by the Week magazine. And we have reached to the greater heights in the last few years, thanks to the cooperation and the guidance of all the stakeholders, and has become a most sought after award of academic excellence in the region of Telangana. It has been regarded as a trendsetter to widen the horizon of knowledge and disseminate the latest information in grooming and shaping the budding engineers and serving the society. And presently, considering this COVID-19 situation, where the pandemic has completely disbalanced and displaced the lives of so many people, but our conference of conducting yearly, every year, the international conference, which is a trend in CMR College of Engineering and Technology, has been done, and it is going virtual now this year. And this conference is convened to provide a platform for the knowledge exchange of the most recent scientific and technological advances in the field of machine learning and intelligent systems, and to strengthen the links in the scientific community in related field. Machine learning, as we know, and computing has attained a new popularity and is used in a wide range of applications today. As we all know, that artificial intelligence has become more prominent and it's now become part and parcel of our lives. The spectrum of machine learning and computing involves a lot of data collection, data preparation, model building, training, and application deployment. So this ICCIML 2021 aims to serve as a platform to collaborate and showcase the high-end research and industry initiatives in the areas of computer intelligence and machine learning. This conference addresses the most relevant topics in the field of machine learning and machine intelligence. It's an opportunity to source feedback on your research to get published in conference proceedings. We have received around 200 plus papers, and all these papers were strictly double-blind reviewed by the program committee, and accepted papers of 125 of once ICCIML 2021 after proper registration and presentation are published in the Springer Lecture Notes in Electrical Engineering Index by the Scopus. Ladies and gentlemen, conferences such as this provide a valuable opportunity for the research scientists, industry specialists, and decision makers to share experiences. I'm very grateful to the experts who have come to share their knowledge. I would like to conclude my speech by encouraging the delegates to participate with an increasing number in all the activities and discussions through the digital platforms for the next 2 days. And I think this kind of a platform across the globe is a virtual whatever, because traveling is a very difficult thing now. So we all can attend the virtual platform, all the papers being presented. Hope you all will learn in the next 2 days. And once again, I wish you everyone a successful, safe, and fruitful conference. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Major Dr. V.A. Narayana, for that wonderful opening remarks. We have Dr. Ahmad Atif back. So next we'll move over to Dr. Ahmad Atif to give his welcoming speech. Please welcome, Dr.
Thank you very much, Dr. Zaid. Am I audible, Dr. Zaid? Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Zaid, the Master of Ceremony, for the event of this inaugural event. I would like to thank everyone here who is able to join via Zoom and also through YouTube Live. And I am coming on behalf of the UTM Vice Chancellor who can make for this opening remarks. And my welcoming, I would like to welcome all the distinguished speakers, Dr. V.A. Narayan from the CMR College of Engineering and Technology, Professor Jahangir Alam, the Vice Chancellor of USTC. We have met each other in some of the initial events. And I would like to also welcome the three keynote speakers of our session. Dr. Jahangir Dewan, Prof. Lakeshwara, and also Dr. Shafis from Cairo. And my big thanks to all committee members under our General Chair, Dr. Vinit Kumar, who have put all contributions, commitment to make this conference a success. As what was highlighted by Dr. Narayan just now, that the numbers of the submission was being filtered for the quality of the paper that we are submitting for the Scopus publication under Springer. And we would like to wish for the best for all throughout this 2 days virtual session. So the committee have arranged a synchronous session like this, and maybe for the closing tomorrow, as well as a synchronous session for the paper presentation. And we are going to have also a session where audience or participants can ask questions through the link that will be provided later. So we will have like a virtual kind of discussion as well. So throughout this 2-day event. So the challenges of COVID-19 in all countries, including Malaysia, is currently a part of our things that we have to face and try to see how we can overcome. And having this session online, a virtual session, is part of the usage of technology nowadays to ensure that the sharing of knowledge can also be performed with any situation that we are currently facing. So my best welcome to all, and I would like to wish happy, successful conference to all participants, and hope the collaboration between UTM Malaysia, USTC Bangladesh, and CMR College from India will be continuously in a great, good collaboration together in the next future work. So with that, I would like to pass back to Dr. Zaid. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Ate, for the kind remarks. And thirdly, ladies and gentlemen, we have Professor Dr. Muhammad Jahangir Alam, who is the Vice Chancellor of USTC Bangladesh. Dr. Alam served as the Vice Chancellor of CUET for 4 years until 2016. And at present, he is also a Professor of Civil Engineering at CUET. Professor Alam has 34 years of teaching and professional experience in civil and earthquake engineering. He is a Life Fellow and a member of various professional societies and institutions in Bangladesh and also the United States. He was also listed in the who's who of World of Professionals and list of outstanding people in the 21st century from the UK, from the US, and also the UK. And in 2019, Professor Dr. Muhammad Jahangir Alam has joined USTC as Vice Chancellor. So let us all please welcome Professor Jahangir Alam. Over to you, Professor.
Okay, thank you. Welcome and a very good morning to all present here. And I, Professor Dr. Muhammad Jahangir Alam, the Vice Chancellor of USCC from Bangladesh, as one of the joint hosts, thank you for joining us at this 2 days international conference in this 1st and 2nd June 2021. It is my great pleasure to welcome you in this international conference of ICCIML 2021, jointly organized by the Cairo, the UTM of Malaysia, and the USCC Bangladesh, Don Bosco Institute of Technology, Bangalore, and CMR College of Engineering and Technology, Hyderabad of India. This conference aims to serve as a platform of collaboration and showcase the high-end research and industry initiatives in the areas of computational intelligence and machine learning in the area of 4th Industrial Revolution. And it is the platform to coordinate and cooperate with the products from the corporates, the scientists, and practitioners from academia, industry, and government organizations. This today's conference has hundreds of participants, as I know, participating from 3 countries and also from other parts of the world, as one of the primary ways of people could enhance their knowledge and share a difference of opinion on a common platform to resolve the present-day crisis for our each and every nation. This conference has surpassed the various challenges in computational fields and industries that our education system has faced over the years and has adapted to the changing technological trends in the industry, especially for biological computation. As you know, there are ranges of reforms under consideration throughout the technological world in each and every country. The speakers in this today's program are uniquely placed to debate this and highlight the key themes and trends and current practices for the audiences and the younger generations of each and every country, those who are dealing with the emerging technologies. Especially interesting will be to learn the priorities and developments in computational intelligence, machine learning, especially in the case of molecular biology, biotechnologies, and also the nanotechnologies. And in the global range and also the national and international range. The wonderful thing about ICCIML 2021 is the international perspective of our member participants bring to this discussion with many issues who are better placed than the ICCIML 2020 to speak about the lessons learned from the history. I'm very glad to found a selection of them people to speak to you about these lessons learned over the past 20 years, and also took ahead in the panel after the opening keynote speeches. We largely support priorities and development of resources in computational field, especially in machine learning platform for long-term sustainability through stewardship and the engagement in the real-time technological contribution in Bangladesh and over the world. Let me be very clear, as adopted in the ICCIML 2021 principles and approved by our partners from Malaysia and India, we are very much attached to the one cause, one contributing principle for the development of true researchers and developers for the benefit of our Southeast Asian region. Through this conference, we would like to engage with all of you in one open and constructive dialogue about diverse fields of computational intelligence with cutting-edge technologies, including machine learning. But the industry needs to look at the lessons learned from the past, and of course, from these 2 years of COVID-19, where early warnings were ignored. The lack of true contributions from industry in such a situation worries us, but we also have very serious concerns about how each country in this world assesses, regulates such problems in terms of technological solutions. The major outcomes that we expect from this conference is an international framework created, and it should be sustainable within our territories. And we will also be talking about the global codes of conduct, best practices around the world in computational field to guide our younger generation to come forward. With the events such as debates, public speaking, major outcomes of this conference has always been betterment of our teachers, researchers, and students. Before coming to a close to this remark, I would also like to remind you, and especially our moderators, to strictly stick to our time schedule and not to let any session overrun. I sincerely hope you all that please enjoy this today's session, each and every moment, second, and every hour, with collaboration, cooperation, and coordination, and with good debates and networking. I hope, I expect this today's collaborative international conference will be very fruitful, enjoyable, and and outcome-based education for all of us. Thank you very much for your participation, and have a good day.
Thank you very much, Professor. So thank you all to Professor Jahangir Alam, Dr. V.A. Narayanan, and Dr. Atif as well for the wonderful remarks that you all have just given. I know for a fact that you all have worked very hard to make this conference a reality, and we must all thank the organization. Thank you all very much, Professor Jahangir Alam, Dr. V.A. Narayan, and Dr. Atif for the wonderful opening remarks. Now, before we move on to our keynote speeches, let us all take a short break. In the meantime, please enjoy this 5-minute video introduction to UTM as one of the conference organizers. I, on behalf of UTM, would like to offer our warmest welcome to our beautiful campuses in Johor Bahru and Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, once the pandemic situation improves, inshallah. So let me just share the screen. Dr. Uswa, is it possible to share the screen?
Yes, you can.
Host disabled participant screen sharing.
Okay, all right. I have enabled. Sorry.
All right.
Kerajaan memutuskan untuk melaksanakan perintah kawalan pergerakan di seluruh negara.
At difficult times like this, everything comes into perspective. What seems to be ordinary becomes important. We can clearly see the importance of our roles in helping society. We strive to ensure that learning still goes on. Frontliners are protected, and we offer the nation any form of assistance to fight the pandemic. We are still holding onto our vision and mission. Everything we do it for the universal well-being and prosperity. we continue to strive to make a difference. We lead and we set the pace for staying strong and thriving together. The world recognizes our qualities, and we continue to achieve many successes. Despite all the challenges, we survived and thrived. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, just a brief interlude. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Testing, testing.
Yeah, we can see you.
All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Now, moving right along, we have our first keynote speech of the day. Dr. Jahangir Dewan is the founder, president, and CEO of SBIT Incorporated, a consultant with Microsoft Corporation in Silicon Valley, and an adjunct professor with Loyola Marymount University in Los Angeles. He's a serial entrepreneur and co-founded SBIT Incorporated, Envision Design Systems, and ISCool. He has been working in the high-tech industry for the past 25 years at various levels of management and engineering. He has designed more than 100 VLSI chips within the past 20 years. Dr. Dewan has been leading the strategic initiatives of the concept of enabling high-tech economy through microelectronic VLSI design and Center of Excellence in VLSI in Bangladesh, developing the semiconductor industry sectors in Bangladesh in collaboration with Cadence Design Systems. He worked for startups that make successful IPOs, such as ISS, NPTS, Portal Player, and Pixim, and merger and acquisition. He has worked in some of the leading high-tech companies, such as Microsoft, Broadcom, AMD, NXP, Portal Player, Texas Instruments, and Motorola in various capacities as a consultant, lead design engineer, and engineering manager. His research interests include VLSI, data science, machine learning and artificial intelligence, e-learning, content security, and digital right management. Dr. Dewan is the recipient of the UNESCO Fellowship to Canada and Australian CSIRO Fellowship Award. He received the Bachelor in Electronic Engineering from CUET Bangladesh, a Master's in Electrical and Computer Engineering from Concordia University, Canada, an MBA from Cornell, and a PhD in Computer Science from Deakin University, Australia. Dr. Dewan is currently the president of the American Association of Bangladeshi Engineers and Architects, Central Executive Committee, and chairman of AABEA Board of Directors. Dr. Dewan, before we start, As a reminder, the talk is for 25 minutes plus 5 minutes Q&A. I will be giving a reminder once we are near the time limit, as we have to keep to the schedule. And so, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please join me in warmly welcoming Dr. Jahangir Dewan.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Jahid Omar. Thank you, everyone, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, honorable chairman of today's conference, and also vice chancellors, Dr. Jahangir Dewan, Dr. Jahangir Alam, and other similar names. So, and other professors from universities, UTM, SJB, and it is a great convention for all of us. I'm delighted to be talking to you today. I'm also still learning like many of you. I would like to share my presentation right now to you. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Good morning. Hope everybody is doing well in this pandemic environment. Of course, we are really going through a very much difficult situation, every one of us. Hope we recover soon from this environment. So today's talk, I'll be giving about technological disruption in machine learning AI, exploring some machine learning and data science in real world scenario. Some of the works we have done most recently on machine learning AI, I'll be presenting at the end as well. Now I'll go over quickly some basic concepts just to set the stage. So thank you very much to UTM, JBIT, and USTC for organizing such a great event. So as an introduction in machine learning, it's a branch of artificial intelligence, a subset, basically. So we might be nowadays using machine learning or AI in various forms. We may not know it, but we are using them, especially when you buy online shopping or buy things, or even doing say vacation or buying some stocks. Many of these stocks are embedded machine learning. And machine learning uses data and algorithms, and basically it trains the algorithm and learn new thing and gradually improve the accuracy or algorithm. And also it is really at the same time it trains the data and make more accurate prediction. So it's on top of, you can say, data science or data analytics. Machine learning is built in most of its cases. And in many computer systems, they utilize this concept of data science and machine learning. And we really need to think about the way machine learning works is just, for example, trying to do the behavior of how a human behaves in other sense. So training the computer the way the human can think about, decision can be made over that fly like that. So here is machine learning as a glance. So one part is artificial intelligence, where let me try to do a little bit so that I can see everything. Thank you. All right. So AI is the central part of it. So where it has many branches, for example, machine learning, natural language processing, speech processing, expert system, robotics. And then machine learning is also has division of, say, deep learning as well as predictive analysis. So it's a way of solving a problem without human intervention, but pretty much. So it uses the data pretty much, and build the system over the time and improve the system at the same time. So here is an example of machine learning. So I'll be touching base mostly. So there are various ways. So the learning algorithm that works, which is one is supervised learning, another is unsupervised learning. So it has heavily uses statistical methods like we are familiar with long term regression analysis. As regression is, you can say, in many cases, the base for machine learning. And say, for example, you want to advertise certain product or something, what kind of algorithm you might be using. So regression is one of the way, weather forecasting or market forecasting, something like that. And there are unsupervised learning as well, which is mainly uses clustering algorithm or some other kind of algorithm using dimensionality reduction. And machine learning at the same time, if you think about a classification algorithm, which is classify, for example, we want to classify some of the diagnostic report, and based on whether someone will have rare disease or not, those kind of things could be handled by supervised learning as well. And then another concept is reinforcement learning. So three different ways machine learning works mainly nowadays: supervised learning, unsupervised learning, or reinforcement learning. And we have been using data science for a while, and data analytics has been very high demand, and it's pretty much paid back. So nowadays, or even a few years ago, you can see the prediction was getting more and more accurate in terms of, say, for example, prediction of weather, prediction of pricing, or prediction of, say, stock price and all those things. And the classification in terms of, say, spam in the email or something, we could classify very well. And recommendation of certain products or services, Amazon has been heavily using a lot of reviews and how to classify various kind of products, which is been pretty much heavily bought by people, or which is most popular product, not all these. And pattern recognition is another area, classification of various patterns as well, whether this object is a cow or it's a dog or a human being. And there are various things like image recognition, and some of the scoring and ranking. For example, FICA score, which has been very much used in US, credit rating especially for people. So there are various use you can see. Also risk management in terms of using some optimization algorithm and forecasting of sales as well. So all those areas pretty much has been using data science a lot. So here are various application areas in machine learning, which is image recognition, uses a lot of data. Of course, it is much more intelligent, just regular data science uses machine learning algorithms inside. And X-ray images, for example, whether someone has cancer or not, whether someone has diabetes, and what kind of treatment will be given, those kind of things can be done. Then face recognition and recognition of any kind of handwriting, all those things. Recognizing speech, medical diagnostic, as I said, statistical arbitrage, especially for the stock market. So mainly doing the trading analytics at the same time, managing the portfolio and adjusting the portfolio based on prediction from machine learning algorithm, whether I should buy this stock or sell this stock or hold it. And it can produce predictive analysis, which is in case if someone is doing some kind of fraudulent activities using credit card and all these, whether it is the legitimate transactions or not, banks can easily identify nowadays. So then automatic processing of data sets, developing methods to prevent diagnosis, especially early stage of if people, if doctors, they find out early stage from the diagnostic whether someone, based on his history or family history, whether someone can have diabetes in the future or not. So here is a timeline where we have seen last, say, 40 years, the evolution of data science. Then we moved to a new paradigm in last few years. So last 5-6 years, AI and machine learning was very popular. When we were a student, AI was buzzword. Nobody heard about machine learning that time, say 30 years ago. Now everybody knows, and every companies has a program for machine learning and data science. And in terms of timeline, initially we tried to integrate, so Oracle and others, they are trying to integrate all the data. They have been heavily using data mining, and then leveraging the data next level for business intelligence, for the cells and all those things. The Oracle and providing Salesforce was providing, say, business intelligence, all those things. And then in terms of, so later on in 2005 to another 5 years, we have been doing performance management in terms of the system, whether this leveraging the data works in terms of say gaining more customers, gaining more market segments, and all those things, and makes it and making more profit. And then business analytics gave us much more leverage in terms of say handling how to data, big data, especially huge amount of data, how to handle those things, and using then cloud model as well. Then now we are in the stage of using those data, leveraging those data, and automate them much more so that there won't be too much like intervention from human being. So how big is the market? If we ask you, so why should we invest in machine learning or AI? So global machine learning market is about $6.9 billion was in 2018, and it is anticipated to be about 96.7 billion until 2025. And the global machine learning market cumulative average growth CAGR is 43.8%, which is very high growth, in fact. The forecast for 2025 will be 2019 to 2025 will be 43.8%. And also it was also getting gain with this pandemic time as well, because a lot of people do the shopping from home or doing most of the work from home. Those stuffs, they heavily nowadays using machine learning, whether prices are right, where the lowest price I can get, all those things now we can utilize. Many people much more using more computing platform rather than going to shops, for example. And what is the most like a segment who is making money or who has been heavily involved or investing in machine learning AI is advertising and media. Advertising and media is heavily involved in this case because they had to really get into the customers. That's the best way to get into getting a lot of customer intelligence, whether someone is buying or selling, or why not he clicking and he is not clicking, why he's clicking and not buying, those kind of things. And here is a global market segment, again, hardware, software, and services. Looks like hardware has been dominating a lot in terms of, say, hardware in 2019 was 2.5 billion, and 2020 it's grown, really, it has grown to 3.5 billion, and within 2024, it will be almost, say, 4 or 5 times in 2024. And on the right side, you see some of the areas where growth is the most. Say, chatbot is using chatbot type of things are 26% growth, process auto optimization 26%. So there are other ones. Face detection is smaller, but again, some of the other stuffs like diagnostic area, they're also doing very good. So computer assisted diagnostic 14%, and market segmentation 15%. This is good. So here are some of the, where is my money going, in fact? Where are the investments are going? Machine learning applications, they invested heavily, about $28 billion, and machine learning platforms has been also using about $14.4 billion. Those are the data from Statistician. And startup funding has been really grown. You can see that in 2018, Q1, Q2 has been really good. Even in pandemic time, in Q2, the funding has been really grown. It's $7.4 billion. All these investors have been investing venture capital funding about $7.4 billion. And maybe now it will be much more this year. And here are the top 3 players. Who are the top 3 players? Number 1 is IBM, number 2 is Microsoft, and number 3 is Samsung. So those are the ones. And AI in semiconductor business, especially the business where I am, and this is going to be really in 2017 to 2025 because you need a lot of processing power in machine learning AI, because huge data will be dealing with. Data centers will be built, high demand of the chips for the automotive and all these, and it will be 5x in say in a few years. It is going 2070 to 2025. It will be 5x of earlier when machine learning AI application was very little. So here are some of the use cases. So I'll run over what we did. So we have implemented a project. On my study in Berkeley, UC Berkeley, so we did implement a project where we were predicting stock prices, and based on the real stock prices and history as well for last 10 years. So the objective of this project was to help someone if someone wants to buy or sell or hold the stock. And the data set we have been using from Kaggle, which is one of the good sources, and also Yahoo Finance. And then we tried using various machine learning algorithms, so using even linear regression, KNN algorithm or SBM algorithm, support vector machine with LSTM. And our results also was promising, and we saw that LSTM model gave better result than other ones. So we took Tesla stocks as an example, and we demonstrated various forecasting and then predict future stocks values. So objective was to give near accurate data and visualize based on real data in the market environment, and then we use machine learning algorithm for that. So the data parameters we have been using mainly open stock open, close, and then high 52 weeks high, low, and also volume of stocks and adjusted closing price also. And the models we have been using all those 5 models. And then the workflow wise, we took that CSV file, and then we use various like platform for analysis, data analysis first, and use machine learning platform, Matplot, for example, Seaborn, Python, as well as Jupyter Notebook, and with skate learning algorithm for with Keras. And then finally, the using the LSTM model, and then our other models and do the prediction.
Professor, we have 5 minutes left.
Okay, all right, I should be good. So we did regression models, and we found the R-square values for each of the models. And for each of the model, we have some data. Let me, these are the plots. So let me go over the summary here. The comparison of various machine learning models, we did that the LSTM model had better root mean square value than other ones. So that gave better prediction. So that was the main summary for that. The performance using LSTM model was better than other ones. So then another study we have is, so if you want to relocate, for example, you live in Kuala Lumpur or somewhere, which area you should relocate, or if you have a new job, so multiple jobs, which jobs you should take, what is the living condition and all these. So we analyzed that in 2 cities, Los Angeles versus San Francisco, where we should move, or if you want to retire, the home prices, lifestyle in terms of crime rates, and all those things. And we use, again, various data sets from online, especially crime data from Department of Police, law enforcement. And here is some prediction about the various data, crime rates, and all those. And interesting slide here is in Los Angeles, the crime rate, especially the Hispanic populations are getting like more crime victims are Hispanic populations. And in terms of sex, mainly male or female, so male victims are close to female victims almost. And on the right-hand side on the top, where I show that, the people with age 25 to 44, they are much more victim than other ones. And the top crimes are mostly battery, like insult and all those, burglary, car theft, and then a regular theft at homes, something like vandalism, all those things. And here is some data from San Francisco, where are the areas where most concentration of the crimes. So that gives you some good idea whether we should settle where, which area, and all those things. And here is another use case where we have been developing. In fact, we are using that in our telemedicine project, telehealth project in Bangladesh, AI-based diagnostic and treatment analysis. So which is under development. Within a month, we should be doing the beta test in a few centers, including one in USTC, another one in a remote area in Bangladesh, in other district, Borishal. So this is AI-based platform where we use AI for diagnostic. At the same time, doctors can use that platform for giving right kind of medications. And here is another project we have been using in machine learning AI-based prediction for sales prediction. Especially this is going on as a to the customer at present. This moment, this is with SBIT and XLX with our partnership. And we can predict the pricing, we can adjust the pricing, whether your competition, for example, you are selling a computer or car, for example, whether nearest competition, same car, Toyota, say Camry, if they are increasing the price, so or decreasing the price has decreased, online price, whether you should adjust automatically. The machine learning algorithm automatically adjusts the pricing for any product, for clothing or other things. So this is already getting used in some of the shops in USA and Bangladesh as well. So we are doing testing, beta testing with some of the customers. So that's pretty much. Thank you very much. So this was some of the quick snapshot what we have been doing using machine learning. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Jahangir Dewan, for that very wonderful and insightful talk. We do have some questions from the participants. So allow me to read them. Professor, good morning. Have you worked on long-term or short-term prediction? And the second question is, what are the parameters to be considered for long-term? Thank you.
Okay, on our stock prediction, we used long-term and short-term predictions. Mainly use, for example, in a stock, we use historical price. For example, last 10 years, think about Google price or Tesla price. Over the time, how it is changing. And then with last 100 days, for example, average, or 200 days average, how do you predict that whether, because long term is long term, it's pretty hard to predict. But if the last 100 days, what are the price variation, and do whether moving average is moving average one of the, right? And also other things like stock market uses, say, beta, volatility, for example. It uses some kind of also other data, whether earning per share, all those things. They plays a good role in predicting the stock. So those kind of parameters we have used.
Thank you, Doctor. Do we have any other questions? I think we can allow for one more. Anyone from the audience? So there's another question. Is there any limitation, or what are the limitations of LSTM?
Well, the limitation wise, long LSTM model is mainly, I would say, the predictability in terms of when you have a huge data set. Of course, the in terms of processing, for example, it might take a long time, say big data. So which is, we try to narrow down the data a little bit so that the processing time is a lot lower. So we, instead of dealing with huge data, we took a say medium set of data.
Noted. Thank you, Doctor. So I think we've come to the end of the keynote session 1. So let us once again thank Dr. Jahangir Dewan for his brilliant and wonderful speech. And I think if any participants do have any follow-up questions, you can contact him directly. Is that okay, Dr. Dewan?
Yes, that's sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So any participants, any follow-up questions, you may contact the speaker directly. Once again, thank you so much, Dr. Jahangir Dewan. And let us now move on. So our next, thank you, Doctor. So our next keynote is by Professor Dr. B. Lokeswara Rao. A little bit of information about Prof. Lokeswara. He received his Bachelor of Engineering in Electronics and Communications from Andhra University, Visakhapatnam, and Masters of Engineering in Microwave and Radar Engineering from Osmania University, Hyderabad. And he received his PhD in Electronics and Communication Engineering from Andhra University in 2016. His PhD research topic was on performance analysis on Spartan 6, Vertex 6, and ZinQ 7000 FPGAs for microblaze implementation of GPS/INS integrated systems. Prof. Lokeswara has almost 30 years teaching experience. He is currently working as a professor of ECE department and Dean of Academics at CMR CET, following a vast experience in various capacities in academia in colleges and universities around India. He has written extensively on his research areas of interest: wireless communications, signal processing, antennas, microwave, VLSI. Professional society memberships of Professor Lokeswara include a Life Fellow of the Institution of Electronics and Telecommunications Engineers in India, a Life Membership of the Institution of Engineers India, and a member of International Association of Engineers Hong Kong, and a senior member of IEDRC Hong Kong as well. So without further ado, let us all warmly welcome Professor Dr. Lokeswara. Over to you, Professor.
A very good morning to all. This is Dr. Lokeswara, Professor of EC and Dean Academics of CMR College of Engineering Technology, Hyderabad, India. I heartily welcome our beloved Secretary and Correspondent, Sri C.H. Gopal Reddy Garu, to address the international gathering.
Hello. A very, very good morning to one and all, and a warm welcome to International Conference on Computational Intelligence in Machine Learning, organized by the Department of ECE. It is rightly said by our Bharat Ratna, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Dream is not that which you see while sleeping. It is something that does not let you sleep. Yes, indeed, it is our dream, goal, and ambition to establish a knowledge center, a temple of learning, that is CMR group of institutions, which can be witnessed today on sprawling area of 70 acres in Medchal, Hyderabad, Telangana, India. Currently, under the CMR group of institutions, we have 4 engineering and 1 pharmacy college, and our CMR group of institutions established in the year 2002, and we have more than 15,000 students studying in various streams: engineering, pharmacy, and management. And CMR group of institutions is one of the premier educational institution group in the state of Telangana, and dedicated to impart quality education and promoting excellence in academic pursuits in the field of science, engineering, and technology, pharmacy, and management for 20 years. We are pleased to introduce ourselves as one of the leading educational institutions among the technical institutes in state of Telangana. The group of colleges are UGC Autonomous, NBA, NAC, and NAC accredited, and ARIA ranked, and also NRIF ranked in the bandwidth of 251 to 300 in Indian rankings 2020. In today's world, we can see that artificial intelligence is impacting the electronic industry in the big way. We are able to see numerous changes in the field of engineering due to new technologies. Machine learning and computational engineering plays a vital role. Machine learning has applications in all types of industries, including manufacturing, retail, healthcare, life sciences, travel, hospitality, financial services, energy, feedstock, and utilities. This conference aims to obtain academic and research contribution of all the experts working in various domains, providing intelligence to their machines and systems. At this point of time, I would also like to appreciate the conveners and coordinators of the program for their valuable efforts in organizing the international conference. I thank you, each and everybody. Thank you once again. Over to Lokeshwara.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Distinguished, well-experienced guests, delegates, beloved Secretary Sri C.H. Gopal Reddy Garu, Dynamic Principal Major Dr. V.A. Narayana, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to one and all. It is my pleasure to address all the delegates for the 2 days international conference on computational intelligence in machine learning. I want to start with a famous quote by the 16th century mathematician and physicist Sir Isaac Newton. If I have seen further, it is by standing up on the shoulders of giants. The first primates arrived some 85 to 55 million years ago, animals with large brains and highly developed visual cortex. Then where and how did humans surpass and now stand as the most intelligent beings?
Excuse me, Professor Lokeswara. Excuse me, Professor, do you have a slide?
No, slides I haven't prepared, but draft is there with me.
Okay, so do you have slides, sorry?
The slides size are not there.
No, so we can't see any slides now. So do you want to maybe upload?
Yeah. Hello. Shall I? Hello.
Yes. Hello, Professor. We don't see any slides, unfortunately.
Yeah. I'm not presenting any slides.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Professor.
Yeah. I'm not presenting.
Do you have any slides later?
Later I will.
Okay. Noted. Thank you.
The answer lies in communication. The language we developed through ages is highly sophisticated and it is being transferred from one generation to the next. The first papyrus roll, which was created some 500 years ago, allowed knowledge to be transferred temporarily through time and spatially through places, allowing these highly intellectual thoughts to pass through the next generation and reach young, inspiring minds like Newton. Sharing of knowledge has been helping us to take large steps towards progress, not just as an individual, but as complete human race. There are two major traits required for every academician: gaining knowledge and sharing it. Conferences help a lot in sharing our individual contribution. Great ideas take time and require a lot of effort to make them practical. The 1940s, people were trying to represent the working of the brain using a mathematical model, which consequently led to the perceptron model. In the beginning, people thought that a perceptron can model any function, but further working showed that not all functions can be modeled by it, and thus led to multi-layer perceptrons, and it has led to the whole branch of deep learning. Now, models that use deep neural networks surpass humans in many tasks. If we clearly observe how the branch of theoretical computer science evolved, the algorithmic thinking, which I find as a solution to explain how we solve simple mathematical problems. It involves generalization of our thought process to a wide range of systems. Teaching computers what we do has inevitably made us to get more insight on the mathematical problems. It involves generalization of our thought process to a wide range of systems. Teaching computers what we do has inevitably made us to get more insight the mathematical hierarchies that unfold our brains working. Traditional programming does require a human to explicitly program knowledge to a computer, whereas machine learning built on strong mathematical framework makes a computer learn from the data alone. And of course, the job of the user is to provide cleaner data. Today, if you see the applications of machine learning, it is almost everywhere. From recommender systems like product recommendation to various recognition systems like image or speech processing, almost every day we use an application built by using machine learning algorithms. Predicting values of stocks in the financial side, predicting the possibility of contracting a disease in medicine, for online fraud detection, self-driving cars, language translation, the fields of applications are very broad. Artificial intelligence builds on tasks like computer vision and is involved in using this previously built frameworks to make human level perception possible. Up to now, our machines have an intelligence level of a 2-year toddler, and there is a long way to go on. Observing previous works, I feel that developing our inherent curiosity and taking steps to finally completely understand the notion of existence is not far away. If we see the history of artificial intelligence, the fields that gave rise to it, AI has its humble beginning from multiple branches, including but not limited to philosophy, psychology, logic, mathematics, computing, and pure sciences. If we closely observe the development of these circuit branches, namely electronics and communication and computer science, typically one evolved from the other. As we wanted to communicate or send information to far-off places, the theory of communication started, and to facilitate and to practically implement these ideas, the corresponding electronics were developed. Slowly, in the 1940s, few works like ENIAC, we could use the developed knowledge in electronics to build a computing system. While programming it, much of theoretical computer science developed already was kept onto use. As humans, it is not possible for us to read and understand the development of natural language processing was there. For the field of automation, automatic speech recognition, any new voice recognition system you see now has reached near human level accuracy. There was a need to secure these developed systems from all kinds, and the field of cybersecurity emerged. New semiconductor technology were developed, and the size of the integrated IC chip used became much smaller, even while giving notably high computer speeds. As we see day by day, new technologies are emerging. We need to update our ethics to use them in the right way too. The 21st century way of exchanging knowledge is through conferences and journals. It is nice that even in the hot pandemic situation that we're facing now, a lot of young minds came forward and held their hands together in making this online virtual conference a huge success. Getting novel thoughts, improving and experimenting them is an important skill that should be taught to the next generation. I am really proud to say that we have received more than 200 papers in the broad areas of artificial intelligence, signal processing, circuits and sensors. Out of these, 127 papers are shortlisted to be presented at the conference. I congratulate and wish all of them best luck for their presentation and all their future endeavors. We need more such conferences on artificial intelligence and machine learning, as it is growing field and is a potential field for many researchers these days. I am happy to be a part of one such conference by being a part of the CMR group of institutions. I am sure definitely you will enjoy and get a lot of knowledge in this two-day international conference. I thank the management and the principal of the CMR College of Engineering Technology for giving an opportunity to address the gathering. I also thank the organizers. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Lokeswara. Will there be a follow-up talk with slides? Because we have 15 minutes left. Can you turn on your microphone, Professor?
Yes. We have received the following papers: Artificial Intelligence 12 papers, Deep Learning 28, Intelligence and Cybersecurity 10, Machine Learning 32 papers, Signal Processing 10 papers, Bioinformatics 6 papers, Image Processing and Pattern Recognition 9 papers, Speech Processing 1 paper, Data Mining 2 papers, Evolutionary Algorithms 15 papers, Analog and Digital Circuit Design 16 papers, MEMS and NEMS 5 papers, Discrete and Semiconductor IC Technologies 16 papers, Smart Sensors and Sensor Network 21 papers, Nanoelectronics 6 papers we have received in total. Wide range of papers are received across our country and other countries.
Thank you very much, Professor. So that was the talk by Professor Lokeswara Rao. Do we have any questions, any follow-up questions from the audience? Please. Anyone? Okay. If not, then again, we thank Professor Lokeswara for kindly allocating his time to be with us and sharing his talk with us. Next, before we move on, I'm going to share another video presentation, this time on the CMR College of Engineering and Technology from India. So bear with me.
You've been placed.
My college gave me the best gifts of my life. It gifted me a deep ocean of wisdom. It gifted me a few hearts and a million memories. A journey to find myself. A reason to live my life. A thirst to explore. And today, it gifted me a hope called tomorrow.
Okay, that was just a small introduction to CMR College of Engineering and Technology, another beautiful campus by the organizers, one of the organizers of this conference. And let us hope that we all have the chance to visit the campus once the pandemic ends, inshallah. Okay, so now we have come to the third keynote speech, and our final keynote speaker of the day will be presented by Malaysia's own and a good friend of mine, Dr. Shafi Shohaza Sahlan. Dr. Shafi, she has been with UTM since 2003. She obtained her master's degree from the University of Sheffield in the UK, after which she pursued her PhD in Advanced Control Systems from the University of Western Australia in Perth, Australia in 2010. After spending her industrial attachment in a control expert company in 2016, Dr. Shafis became a chartered engineer, or CEng, registered with the Engineering Council of the UK, and then she continued on to become a professional engineer under the control systems, registered under the Board of Engineers Malaysia, or BEM. In addition to that, Dr. Shafis is also a certified energy manager under AEMAS, or ASEAN Energy Manager Scheme, as well as a registered electrical energy manager, or REEM, certified under the Energy Commissions of Malaysia. To date, Dr. Shafis has been involved in several industrial projects in energy audit, as well as automation and SCADA with the local water utility company. Her talk will cover her current research, as well as introducing the Center of Artificial Intelligence and Robotics, or CAIRO, to the conference audience, and the research and the members involved in CAIRO. So without further ado, let us all warmly welcome Dr. Shafi Shohaza.
Thank you so much, Dr. Zaid, for the kind introduction. Okay, let me share my slide first.
Dr. Shafis, can you speak a little louder, because your voice is...
Okay, can you see my slide?
Yes, introducing CAIRO UTM.
All right, so you can hear me well, or do I need to speak louder?
A bit louder, please.
Okay, all right. All right, so again, thank you, Dr. Zaid, for the kind introduction. So my name is Shafi Shohaza Sahlan. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good day to all distinguished guests and participants of ICCIML 2021. So I am from CAIRO UTM, Malaysia. So CAIRO, or Center for Artificial Intelligence and Robotics UTM Malaysia, has two centers. One in KL, our capital, in Kuala Lumpur, in UTM KL, and one in Johor Bahru, in School of Electrical Engineering UTM Skudai. So we have 8 members at the moment, led by Associate Professor IRTS, Dr. Ahmad Atif Muhammad Fauzi, and assisted by Associate Professor IR Dr. Zul Helmi Ismail. So Dr. Zul, Dr. Fauzi, Dr. Ibrahim, and Dr. Uswa are in KL, while the rest of us, Dr. Hazlina, Dr. Chifai, and myself are in JB. Okay. Since 2019, CAIRO UTM has had the privilege of being awarded the Competence Center by our Ministry of International Trade and Industry, or MITI. This is indeed an honor, as our country has launched previously in 2018 a policy of IR 4.0, which is industry forward, and being the competence center, Cairo is recognized by one of the key contributors towards IR 4.0 in Malaysia. And Cairo, having AI, control and automation, as well as robotics, mechatronics as our main research area, are more than ready to carry on this responsibility. I will talk about the lab later in the slide. So in Cairo, we have a vision and mission. So our vision is to be a leading center in AI and robotics globally, and hence our mission to effectively disseminate our knowledge that we've gained mainly on robotics and AI to everyone. So in Cairo, as you can see in the slide, there are three main research areas, which are AI, robotics, and control, which our members are involved in AI under machine learning, machine vision, deep learning, data analytics, and optimizations. Meanwhile, in robotics, we have researchers on collaborative robots, intelligent actuators, sensors of robots, etc., and as well as in control, where our researchers are involved in real-time control, predictive, intelligent control, and process control. So here I show you the track record of Cairo UTM throughout the years. We were established in 1997, and throughout the years, we have collected around 15 million total research grants, more than 50 national and international awards. There are 3 spin-off companies among our members. We have published more than 300 index journals, organized 9 big conferences like this one, and to date, we have more than 200 postgraduate students. So for your information, Cairo is an HRDF certified training centers. HRDF stands for Human Resource Development Corporation. So we are capable in conducting courses, specifically in Malaysia. All right. So as a competence center, Cairo realized that there are the demand side and the supply side. So we understood the required skills currently involved, those in IR 4.0, as well as in robotics and AI. So currently a lack in supply of these talents are occurring. So Cairo is here to fill up this gap, using all the applications of the research that we've done. Okay, before I move on more about Cairo, I would like to share with you some of my research interests, previous and current. All right, so as you can see here, this is a water plant system. There's very large motors. I believe any countries have a good water treatment plant system. So locally in our state in Johor, I am involved in our local utility company, Ranhil ICCIML Berhad actually. But before that, in 2014, I did my industrial training with the ICCIML Berhad, and there the projects involved pumps and tanks, which are monitored through a HMI, as you can see here in a control room. So they install VSD, variable speed drive, to regulate the speeds depending on the water demand. So the water demand depends on how much volume the customer wants at a particular time. So using an automation system like this, you can actually regulate the speed of the motor. So it won't run full speed in 50 hertz. So you can run it in lower speed when the level of the tanks are high. So because of this, throughout the years, they have successfully reduced the power consumption energy, as you can see here. So this is translated into hundreds and thousands of ringgit Malaysia every month. Okay, so this is one of the projects. Another one is this project. So as you can see here, all these components can be monitored, and the motors can be controlled as well. Okay, taking this as a motivation, we've actually fabricated a lab scale system in our lab in UTM Skudai. So how we did that is actually we salvage the all experimental setups, and we built a system like this. So we have further upgraded the system. We have PLC as a controller. So you can see here we have few extensions. So we have 2 VSDs for the incoming and outgoing, and we have several level sensors for the supply tank and for the reservoir tank. So this reservoir tank is actually representing the demand, which is the volume of water required by customers. So by monitoring this tank, you can actually regulate the speed of this motor. So this is done by our VSD. So this can be done automatically, of course. So you have a set points of the tanks. So if it's too high, then the speed of the motor will be lower. And if it's too low, below a certain set point, and you can set that the speed of the motor to be higher. So this is done by variable speed drive. So we used PLC because in water treatment plants locally, they usually use PLC because they are very robust and they've been there 20, 30 years, right? So what we're going to do next, okay, so we've actually collected data and we've got a mathematical model of the system, and now we are currently simulating an offline tuning of our system. So next we are going to connect it to a microcontroller so AI can be applied to it. So AI in water industry is very important. First, because of the automation, as I showed in the first research interest, is you can reduce energy cost, and this can be reduced up to 40%. Yeah, that's quite a lot. So this needs to be further studied, and using PLC, we can't really do much predictive maintenance for the components. So you need AI to monitor the system and ensure when is the correct time for it to be maintained, to be serviced, because in Malaysia the demand keeps increasing every time, and of course they have duty and standby motors, but if the demand suddenly becomes high, or some of the pumps breaks, or the water becomes suddenly contaminated, all the pumps needs to be run in full speed, 50 hertz, every and each one of them. So if they run every day, 24/7 of the day, of course it will damage your system. So the maintenance cost alone in the water local company reaches up to hundreds and thousands of dollars, ringgit, sorry. And of course, AI is for detecting contaminant in water. All right, so next, I would like to share with you the project with the industry that I've involved in last year. This is ROV, underwater ROV. So the same company asked UTM to to look at the condition of these old pipes. These old pipes, when I say old, is about 20 to 30 years. So they've never done anything about it. It's there, it's there, and they've used it. But nowadays, currently, suddenly the flow rate becomes lower. So when flow rate lows, you can't falls to a low value, you can't reach a certain volume of water. I mean, you can't distribute this water efficiently. It's not enough. So the demand is not enough. So what they did is that they add more motors, and they increase the speed of all the motors that they newly installed. So for your information, one motor is about hundreds and thousands of ringgit. So even in doing this, the flow rate still does not increase. So they asked our help to look at the condition of the pipes. So we did this. We spent a whole day here, and one of the pipes, as you can see, there's this sedimentation there. So it's quite thick. You can just grab it from the opening. So if you see, the opening is quite small. So that's why they asked for UTM help to build. This is a customized ROV to fit exactly this hole. This is the biggest hole, opening that they have. So for the ROV to go inside. Okay, so to look at the condition of the pipe. So this is what we found. So the upper part, the capture images of the scale sedimentations at this point. So as you can see, if we compare it, this is the picture from the internet. So if you compare it, you can see that the sedimentation is quite thick. Okay, so we have suggested to ACJ, to the company, that we can apply AI to it, so they can actually do a predictive maintenance, and they can actually predict when and make a more efficient system. So due to cost, of course, so they're still thinking about it. So let's cross our fingers. All right, so the newest research interest that they ask our help is for automated valve. Okay, so as you can see here, this is a motorized valve. Although it's a motorized, but it is a very high torque equipment. So you need a very powerful torque in the beginning. So which means that you require a lot of energy just to give the initial torque. And then after that, it is quite easy. But to give the initial torque actually causes this manpower of this company to have back pains, sleep days, things like that. So what they want to do this year, they want to automate it. Okay, so they want to automate it remotely. Okay, so this is the latest one that they did. They use a telemetry system using a solar. Okay, they tested it, but this is not really, how to say, vandalized proof, because people can just open up the case. So they've actually built a casing like this, okay, and put the component inside. And at the moment, we're just testing with the wires on. So our next project, watch this space, is gonna involve an HMI that they can actually control it from a mobile phone or any remote devices. Okay, okay, enough about me. Let's continue with Cairo. Okay, let's start with the most coveted research area right now, which is healthcare. So what is the most desirable right now? Of course, anything to do with pandemic. So our researcher, Dr. Yong Chi Fai, also having a spin-off company, DF Automation, looks at this pandemic positively. So he applied his expertise in robotics to invent Makcik Kia 19, as well as Pak Saleh robot, which is a robot to distribute essentials such as food, medicals, etc. to the highly contagious COVID patients. So for hospitals who are swamped with patients at the moment, this solution is spot on. So Dr. Chifai with this company has taken this initiative in assisting the Malaysian government in combating this pandemic. You might be wondering about the names of the robots. Well, during our early fight on COVID-19, our Prime Minister has give examples of Malaysians people using that name. So hence the Makcik Kia and Pak Saleh robot. Okay, moving on. We have our director, Dr. Atif, with his Ventilite model, where this device is responsible for a transport ventilator system, which provides mechanical ventilation to COVID patients requiring one. This was a research conducted during the early stage of COVID in Malaysia. And this is the updated model of the ventilator system, where he conveniently called Ventilate Model V1.0. Okay, Dr. Atif also has another project, which is a UVC disinfection robot using Jetson Nano, which is applied in homes, field hospitals, and biohazard. All right, so again, Dr. Yong Chi Fai here, another healthcare research conducted by him is a rehabilitation robot for wrist and forearm. So the system is able to use for people with disability and currently has been sold to companies requiring this exact assistance. Okay, so continuing on smart manufacturing, we have our one of our Cairo members in Cairo KL, Dr. Ibrahim. He has a very strong industrial linkage with NVIDIA, a computer system design service company. And Dr. Ibrahim is currently an NVIDIA certified trainer on AI. So as you can see here, his research is on computer vision defect inspection as software as services, where it is applicable for detecting defects of semiconductors. Okay, moving on, we have Dr. Fauzi here. His projects on developing adaptive robot using reinforcement learning. And then we have Dr. Zul. Okay, Dr. Zul is another Cairo KL member who has developed a multi-camera scale intelligent video analytics, where the device is applicable inside the building, for asset counting or to locate items and even operators. So this research utilizes image recognition and in approximate coordinate inside a building to detect all the locations of these components, devices, humans, etc. Okay, so this is another one by our director, Dr. Atif. It's a telepresence robotic arm using virtual robot, okay, which has been showcased in 2019 to our former Prime Minister, Tuan Dr. Mahathir Mohamad. Okay, and Dr. Shifai again, he is actually an expert on automated guided vehicle, which is to deliver goods from one location to another automatically. And his company, DF Automation, has developed numbers of AGV, which is widely used worldwide. Okay. Okay, next in field robotics, we have again Dr. Atif with his Machibian actuator. It's a soft actuator, a flexible robot with the ability to bend, and the robot is able to walk and swim in flat surface as well as water environment, as you can see in the short video there. Dr. Atif is also involved with a tank cleaning and inspection robot, ROV, similar as what I've involved just now. And Dr. Atif has a device for cleaning the tank of the water, as well as inspection as well. So as you can see, they actually use the concept of vacuuming the water and throwing out of the tank. Okay, it is called a ROV Playco, a robot to clean tanks and to inspect tanks. Okay, so these robots is actually very crucial in the water industry. However, at the moment, they're very concerned with NRW. So I believe that Dr. Atif's design has also take into account of that, and we'll see after this what will happen. All right. So Dr. Fauzi again has a research on stereo vision system with deep learning neural networks. Meanwhile, Dr. Hazlina was involved with FGK, a retrofit electronic fuel injection system for motorcycles, where it improves up to 34% in fuel economy with better power delivery. And to date, it has been sold to over 13 countries worldwide. All right, Dr. Zul, again, in this slide shows his involvement in AI point cloud research, where AI is used to transform a 3D point cloud data into actionable physical insights, specifically for asset monitoring. I'll show you a short video after this, showing how he did it. And as you can see in the slide, these are the images it provides through image recognition, connected to cloud. A dashboard is available also to visualize the system. Okay, just before the pandemic, we've actually, the Cairo team was involved. I myself also in a project with the Johor Bahru Causeway CIQ in managing the traffic automatically using AI. So at that moment, before the pandemic, the traffic in Singapore-Johor border, we have two buildings. So at that moment, the traffic in Singapore-Johor is very bad because the cars going inside and out from Singapore to Singapore into Malaysia are a lot, and they are in dire need of a system which can smooth the traffic. So the following data collection, AI was applied to predict the traffic. So this project is actually based on Dr. Hazlina's SESAC research, which is a crowd simulation software that simulates how crowds or traffic moves in different environments for use of forecasting. Okay, so we've managed to collect some data from the CIQ. However, more follow-up is expected, hopefully after the pandemic, because at the moment there's not much traffic there anyway. Right, so next is on agriculture. So in agriculture, Dr. Hazlina has involved herself with exoskeleton for palm oil workers doing repetitive work. Okay, so meanwhile, Dr. Uzwa's project is on calf monitoring with a collaboration with another university in Malaysia, UPM. Okay, this is a short video on, as you can see here, Dr. Zul's research on counting cows. Okay, they recognize that those are cows and they counted. This is in farms, and here different plants are recognized and detected, and not just plants. Yeah, the system can also be applied to monitor assets around a farm. All right. On top of the research presented here, Cairo also offers training program towards the government policy, industry forward, which is aligned with the IR 4.0. So this training on introductory and awareness for SME development. So as you can see here, this is an ecosystem from the industry forward scheme. So as highlighted here, these are well aware in Cairo research areas. So Cairo, yes?
You have 5 minutes?
Yes, I'm finishing, don't worry. Thank you for the reminder to say. Okay, so Cairo are able to provide these trainings. So let's see, the objectives of these trainings is to provide, as I mentioned in the earlier slides, is to refill the gaps, to fill up the skills required by our country. So we are here to provide a comprehensive training program in robotics and AI, of course, to upskill and reskill existing workforce and preparing future workforce for the manufacturing industry in Malaysia. And we are here to promote the development and use of robotics and AI technologies among Malaysia's industries. Right, so by providing the training, we bring in foreign direct investment and domestic direct investment that requires talents to help the industries. Okay, so this is the lab I mentioned earlier in the slide. So this is the intelligent manufacturing lab in Cairo, KL, which is equipped with several advanced components such as the ABB robot. Okay, we have the dexterous hand UR50, and we have the ABB Yumi here, IR1414000, and which are all being utilized to provide trainings on AI and robotics in smart manufacturing in particular. All right, so we have also the drone delivery system. This is a working drone that you can fly in the lab. All right, so these are list of trainings offered by Cairo. So if you have any questions, just contact me or Dr. Atif himself. And these are the training packages that we offered. Okay, and the duration of days, I believe it is available online right now. Right. Okay, that's all from me. So thank you for your attention. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shafiz, for that wonderful talk and sharing session of the various initiatives conducted by Cairo. So many wonderful research and initiatives going on there. We have a few minutes for question and answers by the audience. So do we have any Q&A? Please go ahead.
Is it okay to ask a question real time?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hi, this is Sheikh Hussain from USA. Wanted to impressive presentation by you, Dr. Salam. Definitely a lot of different areas of research. But across all those things, the common challenge in AI or machine learning is to deal with the quality of the training data sets. And as I was going through your presentations, some of the areas obviously have some existing data sets, others are relatively new. How do you, or some of the projects that you mentioned, how did they kind of tackle that part of the output quality? Because if you put garbage in, it's primarily garbage out, but how do you handle good quality of training?
Understand. Thank you for your question. As I mentioned in the slides, these research areas are handled by different researchers, and they actually have a very strong collaboration with industries in Malaysia. So these data, you know, the industry, they have data. They have all this data. They've been keeping in their company, but they do not know what to do with it. So if you have a good relationship with a industry, they can actually share it with you. So our researchers has a very strong collaboration with this industry. So I believe it is not that hard to ask for that data. So I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, if the data is there, obviously deep learning is not a problem because deep learning requires input. But the quality, whether if you're trying to digress a model or build a model to predict certain output, whether the existing data form a good model or not will depend on if the existing technology was running into challenges, how good quality input is. But I hear you. I mean, if the data is there available, the data is definitely the first part of the puzzle to solve.
Mr. Shah, maybe you can identify a certain researcher that you are interested to talk more about. Then I can connect you with him or her, because you can ask him more. I'm just representing what I know about them. They would know better. How about that?
Thank you. I'll follow up with you.
Yeah, you can just email me there.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shah. Another question here by the audience from Mishudar Chando. Can I get the agriculture data, any resource? So I think this would probably refer to the research works. Are the data widely available? Are they open source, or are they protected by IP, the data?
I have to ask the specific person, but I have to tell you, unfortunately, most of this data, it is classified. So you usually need an NDA between the company and yourself, but you can ask the person, the researcher, if they can provide it for you.
Okay, so to the questioner, you can contact Dr. Shafiz, and she will direct you to the researcher, and maybe they can share the data.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Do we have any other questions? No? Then we thank you, Dr. Shafiz, for the wonderful talk once again. And basically, we have finished with all our 3 keynotes. So many thanks to Dr. Shafiz and indeed to all our keynote presenters for that wonderful knowledge sharing session. This session serves as a fantastic opener to what will hopefully be a full day of conference and presentations and more knowledge sharing sessions today and tomorrow. And with regard to this, I would like to invite Dr. Uswa Khairuddin, who is our technical chair, I suppose, from the organizing committee to give a short briefing on the details of this afternoon's paper presentation session. So over to you, Dr. Uswa.
Right, thank you very much, Dr. Zaid. All right, welcome to all ICCIML 2021 participants. Actually, this conference are all virtual, and for the parallel sessions, there are 7 parallel sessions that we have arranged, and all of the sessions are asynchronous, meaning that the participants have pre-recorded their presentations before this conference, and they have submitted to us their recordings. And we have put all the parallel presentations in separate playlists in YouTube. So you can actually go to the conference YouTube channel and look at the parallel sessions. And alternatively, you can also look at your email. The conference chair have sent an email to all participants with schedules of parallel sessions, and with each of the session, the playlist, and each of the papers have their own link. So you can go to any of top of interest and watch their presentation there. You can also ask questions at the YouTube comment section, and the authors are encouraged to answer the questions within this conference time. All right, so tomorrow at the closing, we will announce best presenters for each sessions. So we have 7 sessions, so we have 7 presenters, best presenters, and we're also going to have 3 best papers award as well. So we have 10 winners tomorrow. All right, so I'm glad that we can have this conference today, even though it's virtual, and hopefully we can all meet you tomorrow. So you can look at the presentations at your own sweet time in these 2 days. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Uswa. So may I remind all the participants again to not miss our closing ceremony tomorrow that will happen at 3 p.m. Malaysian time, and if I'm not mistaken, 1 p.m. Bangladesh time and 12:30 p.m. Indian time, where hopefully we will be announcing the Hello?
Sorry, Zaid. Sorry, Zaid.
Yep. So let me remind again to all the participants, please do not miss our closing ceremony tomorrow, which will be happening at 3 p.m. Malaysian time, 1 p.m. Bangladesh time, and 12:30 p.m. Indian time, virtually as well, where we will be hopefully announcing the 10 winners of the best papers and best presentations. So do not miss that. And we'll see you tomorrow again. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of this opening ceremony session with wonderful talks, wonderful opening remarks, and wonderful keynote sessions, keynote speeches. It has been a pleasure for me to host this session. So I thank everyone for joining in and for contributing. And I wish you all happy conferencing. That is all from me. Assalamualaikum and good day.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Zaid. And all of the participants in the Zoom session, can we turn on the camera and so we can have a selfie?
Okay, let's have a selfie, everyone. Turn on our cameras. Group photo.
All right, group photo. Okay, 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, great.
Great. So make sure to share that with everyone, Dr. Uswa, yeah?
All right.
Cool. Thank you again, guys. See you.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. Good day to all.